So welcome back. Now we are going to look at how to write code on our Arduino. This course is going to be focused on the online digital simulator, but you can also upload this software into the environment and add it into your board in the real. Feel free to come see me and I will show you how to do that if you would like to learn how to do that. But for our purposes, let's take a look at the Tinkercad environment. And you can see in our environment we have added our board, and on our board we have our power. Once we plug in the power, any program that is currently stored on our little microcontroller will start running, and it will continue running until we unplug the power. The code stays on the board even when it's unplugged. This is stored in what's called flash memory. Flash memory is what's called non-volatile, which means when you remove the power from it, the memory stays. And when we add the power, then that program will start running. So let's take a look at putting our code in. Once you started a new project, you want to add on an Arduino board like I have here. It's one of the examples. So let's go through that whole process from the beginning. I'm going to go into Tinkercad. You can see I have the one I was working on. I'm going to click Create a new circuit. And then you can see this drop down of components. There's Arduino. And I can see that I have several Arduinos to choose from. I can choose from any one of these, or I can look at all the components and then just search for Arduino. And you can see it's right there in my list, and I can drag it right onto my screen. And now I have my Arduino board. I can name it if I want, just in case I want to add in more than one Arduino. So now I'm going to go back to my previous project, and I'm going to open up the code window, which is right here, and you can see that I've already pasted some code. I will write this code and paste it into the lesson, so that way you can copy and paste it. Now, we're not really going to say hello. There's not going to be text. We're not going to hear anything. What we're going to do is we're going to make this little LED on our board flash. And if you're doing this in the real, then it will also be in this spot on the power board. The code that we're going to upload is right here. I'm going to pause the video. Why don't you pause the video and put that into the code window. Great, now that you have this code posted into the code window, let's go through it and see what it does. First thing we're doing is we're turning some setup information. One of the setup information is we have to tell the computer that pin number 13 is going to be set up for output. And that's right up here in the setup. It turns out that this is pin number 13, the one that is the light. It's also here. It's in two spots. So we can actually have access to it here and plug in a real LED, or we can look at the LED that's on the board. Then we have this loop program. This loop is exactly what it says. It loops. It repeats this bit over and over and over and again until we stop running power to the board. The first command here is the digital write, and we're going to turn that pin high. So we are turning the power on. That's what it means to turn on the high. So we're sending 5 volts to that little 13 pin, which is enough to turn the LED on. Also note that now this little pin right here is also getting 5 volts. Whoops. Let go. Next we have a delay of 500. That is 500 milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. So we're doing a delay of half a second. Then we're going to turn it off. That's what this digital write 13, again, is the pin number, and low turns the output voltage to 0, which is effectively turning off. And then we're going to do another delay of a half a second. And then it loops back up and does another digital write and turns it high and low. Let's plug in our power and see how it works. In order to plug in our power for our Arduino board, we have to hit Start Simulation. That will automatically plug in our power and start our loop. And you can see we now have this running, blinking on and off. If we change our timing and make it 200 instead of 500 and start our simulation, you can see we can make the light blink faster. That's all for now.